MedShock. It began the year of the epidemic and now isn't simply the medical school institution that I've raised from the ground up, supporting 900 students in 2020. It isn't simply the packed online courses and the live Zoom calls. Simply the truth has been that I don't possess any amazing skill. I simply have been able to use my skills in the form of storytelling, teaching and video editing in the aim of making medical school videos that provide value and are somewhat educational and entertaining. And thankfully you lot have responded positively. Now the preface before this video is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in which will be used as a backbone when it comes to the outcome of the interviews, so that you see yourself grateful no matter what happens in this application cycle. The hadith of excellence. And with no further ado, let's get on to one of the last videos in the series of medical school interviews. Okay, so guys, some of you may be asking, why do I care about the MMI station of Roleplay and why is it important? One thing to understand is that as a doctor, you're continuously going to be breaking bad news. Whether that means that the prognosis or the diagnosis of the patient is that of cancer, whether it means nerve damage, whether it means medical negligence. And so it's important that you inform the patient of essentially what's taken place and that now you accept your responsibility, and that's presumably what you're going to go through. And I'm at Queen Mary University of London. Welcome back guys, and I'm Krinjista, first year medical student studying at Queen Mary University in London this year. I make videos on productivity, balancing gym, and help students on the medicine application process. I'm an advocate for theism, and my main aim is to help people live a happy and healthy life, and I'm hoping I can bring you on the journey with me. Okay, so guys, I didn't even give you salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A lot of you are going to be here for one of three reasons. One of them is going to be either the medicine interview process and the application and the tips, which is probably the majority of you. The second group of people are going to be those that want entertainment, which hopefully you'll get throughout. I honestly don't care if you guys are entertained. And the third group of people are for marriage, subhanallah. Now, as per the first group of people that are here for the medicine interview process, and I do have 5 to 6 videos with 5 to 6 medical students. So alhamdulillah, that was a mouthful, can't lie. And inshallah ta'ala, you should enjoy it. Now, as the title does suggest, I am going to go through an example interview with my brother Fayez. May Allah bless him abundantly. Good job. So one thing that I want to mention before we actually get onto the interview exemplar is that ensure that you do practice. You know, medical school interviews are not just about revising. For example, just the ebook itself. The ebook has pages on like, you know, how to bang a PBL question, how to answer why this university, how to answer why medicine. Those basic questions, then it gets more complicated, but it's just not papers alone. You need to practice. And so do get the interview ebook. It's a £3.49, and on top of that, it does support the channel without a doubt. But on top of that, it's more so like, it's the best thing that I've seen out there. Honestly, MedShock, 900 students, 2020, 900 students in Corona season. What are you saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? So anyway, peace. Okay, nice to meet you, Mr. Fayez. How are you?
Not bad. How are yourself?
I'm good, sir.
That's great.
May I take a seat?
Sure, take a seat. Oh.
Thank you very much.
So this is the situation. You have a very good friend of yours who's going to go on holiday, and he's going to give you a bike for you to look after it while he's on his holiday. And you're going to go shopping, you're going to go somewhere, wherever you choose, and you're going to forget to lock it outside. While you're busy doing whatever you're doing, it's going to get stolen.
Okay.
And when he's back from his holiday, I'm going to need you to explain or break the news, in a sense, to your friend that you've lost his bike, or, you know, his bike's no longer available.
Okay, that's clear, that's clear.
Yeah, I'm going to be the friend. You're going to break the news to me, and whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi Fayez, how are you?
Not bad, how are you?
I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm even better now. I'm here with you. Okay, that's good to hear. How's your holiday though?
Yeah, it was great, man. I had a very good time. Good
Family?
rest.
How's home?
Alhamdulillah, everyone's good. How about yourself?
Yeah, everything's good on my side. Fayez, is it possible I can speak to you in private?
Yeah, sure.
Let's just take a seat, because...
Yeah, come, go for it.
Fayez, there's something important that I need to tell you.
Yeah?
And it's gonna distress you. Is it okay if I can?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so basically out of that first segment, you could probably tell that I do have a little bit of interview experience. I did mention this in some of the other videos, SAMDA, S-A-M-D-A, and how that's basically helped me so much. So I would say definitely go sign up to their courses and do have interview practice. By attending, you'll be given the interview practice as well as the mark schemes in order to bang those questions. So you'll only benefit by attending, inshallah ta'ala. If you want a simpler route, I do have a lot of the mark schemes, interview, that sort of stuff inside the ebook, essentially like a checklist, and there's sounds like a major plug, but onto the tips that I did implement on that first segment that you may not have clocked. Typically you'll be given a blurb, and the blurb's gonna have context, whether it be that you've killed their cat, whether it be that you've lost their bike, whether it be that maybe you've got their ball stolen or something like that. And so to begin the interview, you probably saw me give the handshake. Now obviously per standard, yeah, this will be fine inshallah ta'ala. So if you're a man, give the guy a firm handshake. Remember that the first few seconds, the first few interactions is what they're going to remember of you when they make that subconscious judgment, as well as an informed one when they're essentially interviewing you. And so in this case, it was actually losing a person's bike. You could probably see me give a lot of small talk. So how was you? How was your holiday? Making them feel comfortable. And by doing so, that's the first thing. You don't want to rush into it. Remember, they're a human. Remember, if they've come back from holiday, they're probably thinking about their holiday and what they want to tell you. So let them speak. Now the second thing that you saw me do is find a breaking point in their speech in order to then say, can I speak to you in private? The reason why I'm saying speak to you in private is the last thing you want is you're at their door, they're crying, and now they're getting physical with you, and it seems like you're doing something that you're not meant to be doing. Yes. And now the third introductory tip that took me some time, it took me like 3 goes trying to say that, is signposting. And signposting is essentially asking for permission to tell them something. And an example of this in the clinical practice could be a GP. Let's just say they have a patient who's suffering from gonorrhea. One thing that they may want to ask them is a question on their sexual history. And a lot of people don't feel comfortable in mentioning stuff like that. So you're going to ask the question, is it okay that I'm now going to ask you a couple of questions that may intrude on your sexual life? And so, you know, me saying this, you probably see I'm looking over there, because I just don't feel comfortable answering that. But it's one of those questions you need to ask, and there is probably going to be a mark scheme point or a thing to tick off by doing so. So let's get back onto the interview. So you remember that bike that you gave me, and you told me that I can use?
Yeah.
What happened was, and it's out of my negligence, my responsibility completely, I forgot to lock it when I went to the shops, and when I came back, it was gone.
Okay. Did you try chat to the
security
owner of the shop, the security, took for footage?
I spoke to them, but
nothing.
No, I'm sorry if I. Now, from what you've basically seen in the interview, you could probably tell I'm not beating around the bush. So if I borrowed something and I've lost it, then I need to apologize to potentially like Habibti, Mariam, Zainab, Latifa, Natalie, Rachel. You have to apologize to them in a way that you're not concealing what actually happened. And another thing that you need to bear in mind is that you need to show emotion. That's important. And you're probably saying how. I do have a few sentences that should sort of like, you know, help it to make it, fake it till you make it. That's what it is. Where's this going to be relevant as a doctor is that you have now told them that they have a prognosis and they're going to die, essentially. You need to give them time to let them take it in, innit? Like, you can't just, oh, you're going to die, how shall I help you? Da-da-da-da-da. Like, they're going to feel a little bit overwhelmed. They're probably just going to block you out. So just give them some time. Give them like 15, 20 seconds break until they then try to speak to you. That's the moment that you have your cue. And to add to that, there's many things that you shouldn't say. And if you do say, Wallahi, bro, like, you need to pattern up. You cannot say to them, I understand your pain. It's just another bike. You need to man up. The moment you say those thought of stuff, Wallahi, you're just going to put your interview into the bin. You're going to lose some marks. So don't do that. The things to do is be like, I would never understand your pain. Reason being is that items have sentimental value. You know, let's be real. Let's just say you have that one t-shirt that you wear, your best t-shirt, you really, really enjoy it or enjoy wearing it. I'm making it out like you're eating the t-shirt, but let's just say you really, really enjoy it. The moment someone chucks that away, you're going to feel hurt. It may mean to you, you might have bought it for £10, but it may mean like £1,000 in terms of worth. You might have all your other clothes chucked away, but you care for that one t-shirt. But before we carry on, just understand that you need to validate their experience and don't judge them.
It's just that bike, it was just given to me by my grandfather, who's no longer with us today. That's why it means so much to me. It means a lot to me. It was the last thing it was our last memory of him.
Yeah, Faiz, I'm not gonna say I understand what you're going through, because I don't. But I'm gonna try my best, and I do know I remember that motorbike that you were talking about and how it was a little bit too expensive. I do have a friend that I know, he owes me, and any motorbike that you want in that shop, the motorcycle store down Highbury Lane, any motorbike that you want, just let me know. It's on me.
I'm sorry, like, if I'm struggling to show you that I appreciate that. I'm just, because it was such a personal bike, it meant a lot to me and my family. But I do appreciate your offer. I do. I really do. Thank you.
Sorry again, Faiz.
No problem. I'm fine with it. There's nothing we could do. Can't get it back now, but yeah, I appreciate it a lot, man. It's fine. Don't worry.
Thank you, Faiz.
No problem.
Now, one of the last things to ensure, which is probably one of the most important things to do, apart from that at the beginning, because they remember the ending, there's two things that I would say to include, and if you include this, inshallah, your interview should end on a good note, is positioning and levels being one of them. So, for example, if they now begin to stand up, potentially they're frustrated, you stand up as well. Last thing you want to be doing is sitting down and waiting for them to tower over you and to attack you. So just stand up. And I know in the interview they're not going to do that, but in reality you don't know what's going to take place, so please do stand up. On top of that is also to provide a resolution. Now the resolution is probably one of the most important things, and one thing that I could say in my own personal experience that really helped me bang these questions is that if you understand the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where Ibn Mas'ud, I believe it was, said that the Prophet ﷺ said, وَلَوْ أُودِيَ إِلَيَّ ذِرَاعٌ أَوْ كَرَاعٌ لَقَبِلْتُ, that the Prophet ﷺ would actually accept an invitation even if it was a sheep trotter. So basically, on the concept of gifts, there's also another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ which he mentions, تَدَاهَدُوا تَحَابُوا, I believe it is, or كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, that the more gifts you give, the more love you will cause. Now, one of the best ways to end the interview, let's just say you lost a guy his bike, and this is going off script, but I've done this, and the interviewers, they smile at the end of it, like they're so gassed. I've gassed them up.
واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا.
And so I hope, wallahi, that you've enjoyed today's video. But on top of that, what's more important is that if you're stuck on any other questions, I do have a series, a playlist that will help you answer why medicine, why this university, what you bring to the university, teamwork and skills, MMI tips, rejection tips. So do go check them out. I'd say go watch the rejection one, which will probably be linked here or there. And you guys know how I end the video. On top of that, I forgot to mention this, is that if you made it to the end of the video and you do want biology, chemistry, physics tutoring on MedShark, then do holler me on MedShark, inshallah ta'ala. You know how I end this. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.